What's My Line panel. First, the delightful star of the Broadway smash hit Dinner at Eight, Miss Arlene Francis.
And now a gentleman who will be rejoining the CBS nighttime lineup beginning December 12th at 10 o'clock with To Tell the Truth, Mr. Orson Bean.
Now I'd like to present Columbia University's gift to television, Miss Sue Oakland.
You know, at most universities, it's customary to endow a chair to be occupied by the leader in his field. And at my left is a chair endowed with wisdom and wit. And its occupant, of course, is Bennett.
So I don't know who the mystery guest, of course, is going to be tonight, but if I could use previous experience as a criterion, if it's a man, he's going to try to make a date with you after the show is over. And here is the panel moderator for this show, the only man, probably in America, whose name is longer than the original Declaration of Independence, John Charles Patrick Croghan Daly.
And for nearly 18 years, I've been trying to teach you it's John Charles Patrick Crowan.
That's
the
what
G
I said,
is silent. You said Croghan.
I like that better.
I'm going to finance you in what is commonly known as a course in Gaelic. I guess that's what I'll have to do. Miss Sue, it's nice to have you with us. Orson, it's great to have you with us. I must say, I hope you won't mind if I say there's good reason for you to be celebrating. What was it? 13th? October 13th
October
last?
13th, yes.
Became the father of a young man.
I did indeed.
Right.
Birthday, John. October 13th is my birthday.
Is your birthday?
Yes.
Well, now
Very
there you
good
are.
birthday.
And his name is Max Bean.
Well, you tell Max. Max Bean, you tell Max Bean that he's got a running start because he can celebrate with Sue Oakland.
All right.
Every time he has a birthday. That's
Anytime
pretty
he
good. Miss Arlene, nice to see you, ma'am. Bennett, how are you? Well, we've got some very fine occupations for you to play games with tonight. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before you a little bit later on in the program. But right now, let's meet our first contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Douglas Smith. Right, sir? All right. Mr. Smith, where are you from?
Toronto, Ontario.
Toronto, Ontario. Nice to have you with us, sir. And may I present the panel, Mr. Smith. Now, will you join me over here, sir? We'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. Panel, we can tell you that Mr. Smith is salaried and deals in a product, and we'll begin things with Arlene Francis.
Mr. Smith, is it a product that we on the panel might use?
Yes.
Is it found in the home?
Yes.
Is it found in any particular part of the home more than another part?
Yes.
Would that part be the kitchen?
Yes.
Is the product consumable?
Yes.
Is it solid rather than liquid?
Yes.
Is it a food substance of some kind?
That's a very good question. Well, I would think that we would have to agree that taking the concepts as they're put down by the medical profession, that there is food content to be considered, would you not say? Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Would you perhaps not keep it in the icebox? Might it be on a shelf rather than in the icebox?
Yes, we would not keep it in the icebox, no.
It's used in cooking rather than as a special thing by itself.
Sometimes. Sometimes. Mm-hmm.
Is it in the condiment family?
We don't know whether they have it or...
Sometimes? Is it a spice of some sort? Or is it a combination of spices?
No, I don't think we can call it a spice. That's $1.90 go, Mr. Bean.
Mercy, I thought you'd never finish.
You have nowhere to go.
Mr. Smith, is it, you are involved in the manufacture or making or something of a liquid condiment.
Solid.
It's a solid condiment.
I'm on, but you don't listen.
No. It's a solid condiment in the sense that it's one big block sitting there and you...
That's good. That's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Oakley.
Drawing pictures and distracting me. It's not a big solid block. Is it then perhaps powdery or broken down into, not broken down molecularly, but just broken down into many small particles?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. It is edible in and of itself, though. We've established that.
Yes.
I mean, it's taken into the body.
Mm-hmm.
But not in the form that we would find it on the shelf. Something is done to
That
it.
is a presumption which is to be, unfortunately, described as in error. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Sir.
May I assume, Mr. Smith, that this product of yours is not boxed? It doesn't come sold in boxes?
No, you can't presume
I
that.
can't presume that?
No.
It does get sold in boxes. I mean, asked that the wrong way. I'll change my question.
Oh, all right, Bennett. I'm sorry. You go right ahead and change it. No, you're not good. You change it, then I'll give you a no anyway, all right? That's 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Spencer.
It comes in some kind of a container, does it, when one buys it at the store? Could one buy it at the grocery store?
Yes.
Could one buy it at a delicatessen?
Yes.
Is it, does it belong more to the vegetable family?
No.
No. That makes it 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. B.
In the old days in Russia, if you were sent to Siberia, might you mind this?
Perhaps.
Do you shake it on your food?
Sometimes.
If you shake too much, it ain't good, right? Is it so?
Yes.
Do you manufacture salt?
I think Mr. Smith is very skillful replying to questions, so we'll throw them all over anyway. Mr. Smith does sell salt. He's with the Canadian Windsor Salt Company, and they do mine it. Do they really mine it in Siberia?
Yes, they do.
Do they have it? I often wondered when they ever got warm enough to get it the salt over there, but I guess you could get warm enough over there. What do you do as a basic source of supply? Is it overseas or?
Oh, no. Right in Toronto, Ontario is my territory, actually. And I sell salt industrially to the hide dealers, meat packing plants, pickle factories, water softening people, and...
But where does the salt come from that you sell?
We mine it right in Windsor, Ontario.
You do?
Yes, we have a rock salt mine and an evaporator plant.
Well, good. I would say that you've got a potential customer, because if anything is necessary to this panel, it is to make Bennett a little saltier. Thank you very much. It's nice to have you with us. We'll have another contestant for you in just a moment after this word. Ellen Kwok. Is that right, ma'am? Is it Miss or Mrs. Kwok?
It's Miss.
Miss
Kwok.
Kwok. And where are you from?
I'm Chinese, but I've spent most of my life in Australia.
How long have you been in the United States?
I've been here twice. I've been here several times, actually.
This on
Yes.
another visit, so
That's
to speak,
right,
now.
yes.
Well, it's very nice to have you with us, ma'am. And Miss Kwok, may I present our panel?
How do you do?
Would you join me over here now, please? And we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, we can tell you that Miss Kwok is self-employed and deals in a service. And we'll begin things with Bennett, sir.
Miss Kwok, do you require some training for the service that you perform?
Yes, I do.
Did you have to get some kind of a degree before you could perform this service?
Yes.
Was it a college degree?
Yes.
Are you then connected in any way with either the medical or legal fraternity?
No.
That's 1 down and 9 to go. Arlene.
Do you deal with people in your job, Miss Kwok?
Yes, Miss Francis.
Do they come to you
Yes.
for your service?
Yes.
Is there any advice given to them of any kind?
Yes.
Just a moment. We'll have to have a small conference. So that you're not misled, with Miss Kwok's permission, we will say sometimes there is an element of advice in the interrelationships between individuals,
Yes.
covering the whole area of Miss Kwok's operation.
I see. Miss Kwok, have you had any particular religious training?
Yes.
You mean as necessary
For
and
her job.
incident to the performance? No, that
No.
would be a no. That's 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Bean.
Miss Kwok, do you deal in do you touch the people that come to you physically?
No.
That's 3 down and 7 to go, Sue Oakland.
Do you deal with one sex more than with another?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Sir.
Ms. Kwok, do you give advice of any kind?
Well, Bennett, there are, in the interrelationships which are necessary and usual to Miss Kwok's functioning, there is an area of counseling and advice, but it's very general, and I wouldn't, concentrate on this to the exclusion of other activities.
Well, I've eliminated medical and legal, and now I'd like to ask you 2 other fields. Have you any connection with either transportation or international relations?
No.
Nope. 5 down and 5 to go, Arlene.
Miss Kwok, do you have anything to do with education?
No.
No, that's 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Bean.
When you give advice, is it just simple things like don't take any wooden nickels as they leave the office?
No.
No. That's
She might say that. She might.
7 down and 3 to go, Sue.
Do you deal in any form of the arts?
Yes.
Are you a practitioner of some form of the arts?
Yes.
Is it perhaps painting or sculpture?
No.
8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Sir.
Is it the field of literature, Miss Kwok?
No.
9 down and 1 to go, Arlene Francis.
No painting, no sculpture, no literature. Are you a performer of some kind, Miss Kwok?
Yes.
Yes? Are you a performer in the theater? No, you're in television.
Dum-de-dum-dum. Yes, but the cards are all over. You want to take a guess?
She's a piano prodigy.
No, she's a conductor.
Right, $5. Just too late. There you go. Actually, Ms. Kwok came here this summer to do some conducting, and you conducted at Interlaken, did you?
And in Houston, yes.
And in Houston. And happily, for the good people of Houston, you are going to conduct the Houston Symphony again February 4th. Is it? February 4th next. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, congratulations.
And did her, what do you call it, an internship? I guess you wouldn't, as a conductor.
Apprenticeship,
Apprenticeship
actually,
as a
yes.
conductor in Australia. I think that's just wonderful.
And
I think-
she's beautiful.
And she's beautiful, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think the people of Houston have got something to really look forward to next year, to get there. You're going at a good rate, and thanks for... We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, this message. And now the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery challenger, for which the panel is always blindfolded, are the Blindfolds in Place panel.
Yes.
They are. Good. Will you enter mystery challenger and sign in, please? All right, panel. As you know, the other form of questioning this trip, one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise, and we'll begin with Miss Oakland.
From that applause, I take it that you're a prominent member of the entertainment world.
Yes.
Mr. Cerf?
Do you appear on the Broadway stage or in nightclubs?
No.
No?
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Francis.
Are you then a motion picture performer?
Yeah. Mr. Bean?
Are you associated with bizarre, macabre horror movies?
Now?
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Oakland.
Are you associated with romantic leagues?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf.
You sound English, so I presume you're not.
That would be a nice little 3 down and 7 to go, Bennett. You were right, Miss Francis.
Is he English?
But he is. Are you English?
Yeah.
That won't count as a question, because I think Bennett really revealed that. You go
I
ahead,
see.
Arlene.
Are you a director as well as a performer?
No.
That's 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Bean.
Do you... No, it couldn't be him. Have you made a musical?
No.
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Oakland.
Are you currently in a movie in which you have a great deal to do with a great many young ladies?
Yeah.
Are you Michael Caine?
Bennett opened the door, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Wish you hadn't asked that question.
Well,
We were doing
I
splendid.
thought he was faking.
I know you know. Why didn't you hush up? Yeah, I would say you were born in London, weren't you?
Yes, I was, yeah.
And
So I was faking with that accent.
look, and you were with the Royal Fusiliers. Huh?
Yes, I was once.
You're original.
For a brief moment, yeah.
For a brief moment.
Yeah.
Glad you got that behind you.
Yeah.
And of course, the Ipcris file, Alfie, the wrong box.
That's right. Those are 3 that have been shown here.
Quite a frogger at the Daisy in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I did have my moments there, yes.
I remember seeing it.
That's what the real Michael Caine sounds like. That's what the real Alfie
Whatever is
sounds like.
happening now is what I sound like. Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's a good thing. And when Funeral in Berlin is going to be released, but hasn't been released.
Funeral in Berlin will be released in December.
Well, I'm sure you don't need to be told that you've caught the imagination and happily the great interest of a great American audience, and it's very nice of you to give us a bit of your time when you come over here. We
Well, it's my
appreciate it.
pleasure, and I'm very grateful for the Americans for taking me so much into their life. Thank you.
It'll go on, I'm sure, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're a fine... Well, you've done very well, Punnett, so I give you some congratulations. We'll have another contestant after this word. And now to be the final challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please? Phil Walsh. Right, sir? All righty, Mr. Walsh, where are you from?
I'm from Wayne, New Jersey.
Wayne, New Jersey.
Wayne, New
That's nearby.
Yes, about 25 miles from here.
Across the river.
Yes, sir, in Jersey.
So that you are basically one of the neighbors.
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. In any event, I will introduce you to the panel, if I may, Mr. Walsh.
How do you do?
Will you join me over here, sir? And we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, we can tell you that Mr. Walsh is salaried and deals in a service, and I think we should put you to work, Orson.
Thank you. Mr. Walsh, would this service be of equal use to members of either sex?
Yes.
Would they benefit from your service?
You mean in a physical sense?
No, I just mean would they benefit? Otherwise, it ain't going to sell too good, right?
Well, we would say that if they see Mr. Walsh, they have come into his area or presence for a reason, and to the degree that their goals were satisfied, they are benefited.
You
Yes.
have enormous class. Well, if I came to you and my goals were realized and I went away, would I walk away poorer?
No, I don't think so.
Really? It's free of charge, your service?
No, sir, it's not.
It costs so little that I wouldn't consider myself poor.
Well, we just realized, you know, that you've got that whole room of the stuff stacked up in there. But since You meant it in that context. We will agree that you might have...
Pay a little something.
yeah, just sort of a goodwill.
Easy come, easy go.
Yes, that's it.
Mr.
yeah.
Walsh, would you work on me if I were to come to you in any sense, I mean physically?
No, sir, we would not.
That makes it 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Oak.
I take it then that Orson would have been enriched spiritually in some way, or in other words, he would be benefited mentally rather than physically.
Well, he would have achieved a goal and
Yes,
therefore
I see.
benefited mentally.
And did I hear you say before that if I came into his area, then I would be going to you for this service? Would I be going to you in an enclosed place? Do you...
Partly.
Partly enclosed. Would I come into contact with you in the sense that you would be sitting behind a desk and I would be in front of it transacting some business?
No.
No, that's 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Sir.
Mr. Walsh, we haven't determined yet whether or not you work for a profit-making organization, have we?
Yes, I do.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
About to ask you that. Does the work that you do require previous training?
Yes, it would.
Yes, a measure of training would be required.
But not necessarily a college degree, is that correct?
No, it would help, but it's not necessary.
It's not necessary. Does the work that you do involve any writing? You have to write...
Other than
something, right?
routine writing of...
No, I don't mean writing a piece, but I mean, when you do it, you have to make notes and make some kind of an entry somewhere for the work you're doing?
No, it gets transformative sort of turns all. No, not at all. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Mr. Walsh, you said that you were partly inside and partly outside. Do you travel in your job at all? Do you get around from place to place in your work?
Well, in a manner of speaking, we could say that he
Yes.
gets from place to place. Yes.
Place to place he does get around.
Really?
Are you in anything that moves when you get around, rather than your own locomotion?
On occasion, yes.
Yes. Do you ever go up and down in your job?
We all have our ups and downs, yes.
Is it anything like an elevator that you go up and down in?
Yes.
Yes.
We're running out of time. Now tell me
We're
what
running
you're
out of the
getting
elevator? Does he elevator operator?
at. No, but he
Cable car.
manages the Empire State Building Observatory. Way up there. There's 2 observatories on the 86th floor and the 102nd floor, and do you know 2 million people a year go up to those platforms. Thank you very much, Mr. Walsh. Very nice to have you with us amongst us. Having used up all of our time, and with the permission of the panel, I will say good night for all, and thanks to you for being with us on What's My Life. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, this message.
Starring Wednesday and Saturday afternoons in the Broadway hit The Apple Tree, Miss Phyllis Newman.
Good evening. It's my great pleasure tonight to introduce one of your real favorites from television. He's on Friday night at 8:30 on this network, the famous Hogan of Hogan's Heroes, Bob Crane.
Now I'd like to introduce the lovely lady who's starring in Dinner at 8 on Broadway, Miss Arlene Francis.
Time magazine has had hundreds of cover stories in the past few years. Distinguished men, controversial figures, but certainly none more beloved than the gentleman who will be on the cover this week, Mr. Bennett Cerf.
I must tell you of a very unusual experience I had the other day. On the way to Fort Lauderdale and Miami Beach, where I had 4 days of playing hooky at the Fontainebleau, on the Eastern Airline plane, the stewardess came up to me getting the names of people. Her name was Lisa Mujica. And she said, I don't have to ask who you are. You're John Daly. And I said, if the plane hadn't been that high and we weren't going quite that fast, I would have gotten out there and that. Well, here is the man for whom I was mistaken, John Charles.
If I was Miss Mujica, I'd be nervous, Bennett, because I think the only question that now remains is whether I sue or you sue.
Both sue.
But anyway, it's a time to celebrate. We're getting near the holiday period, so we'll celebrate by telling you to get your masks on immediately. We're going to have 2 mystery guests tonight. We'll have a mystery guest immediately, and then later on, we'll have another famous mystery guest before you. A little later in the program, get your mask on, Bennett. A pair of glasses is not, in this community at least, equal to a mask. And when you have the masks all in place, and tell me they are so, are they now?
Yes, sir.
Fine, then let's meet our first mystery challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please? Well, there you are, panel. That should confuse you a bit more. I will only tell you that we now go to our usual form of questioning for mystery challenges, 1 question at a time, in turn moving clockwise. And we'll begin things with Phyllis Newman.
Oh, thank you. The applause was very long. Are there a lot of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Colonel Hogan?
It's not Frank Sinatra and Mia Farrow again, is it?
No, that's 1 down, 9 to go, Miss Francis.
Is this group a musical group?
No.
What happened?
Would you mind repeating that answer, please?
No.
That's 2 down, 8 to go, Mr. Sir.
It's either an answer or a door closing. I'm not sure which. Are you part of the cast of a play that is now appearing on Broadway?
Oh, no. Yes, I suppose.
No. 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Newman.
Somebody said yes.
What did they
Well,
say?
there was a little confusion. The answer is properly no.
They're not part of a play on
Broadway
Broadway.
play presently playing on
Are
Broadway.
you mixed sexes? Are there some of some and one of the other or something?
I suppose.
I certainly hope so. Yes?
That's yes.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Crane?
Are you with the show that's going to open on Broadway?
No.
That's 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Francis.
They're not going to open on the... Somebody get hit?
Very good guess.
Is that the answer that whoever is here is not going to open on Broadway?
Yes, that was the answer to that. That's right.
All right. Is Broadway out of the question entirely?
Well, you're speaking of
I mean, are we up the wrong tree? Should it be another medium? Are you on television?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf.
There's one voice there that rings a bell to me, and I don't know idea what the group is, but I want to know if one member of this troupe is about to make her debut in the Metropolitan Opera this year.
Yes. Oh.
Miss Newman?
I know. Are you all the peoples from To Tell the Truth?
Very good. I must say, Kitty, I think we'd have a tough time ever disguising you adequately to
How
Bennett.
did you know? I didn't get it. Bennett did.
That lilting voice of yours.
Oh.
Wasn't Peggy, it was.
I think we milked it for longer than we deserved anyway.
By the way, Orson Bean, Tom Poston, Peggy Cass, Kitty Carlisle, and To Tell the Truth, tomorrow night starts on CBS again at nighttime at 10 p.m. It's kind of a old home week. We're tickled you'd come and see us tonight because every one of them, as you well know, Arlene and Bennett, and I think probably Phyllis you do, although Bob wouldn't, everyone has been on that panel many, many times.
Yes.
And we're so tickled that you're going on that night side operation at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, and needless to say, wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a good program. Good to
Thank
see you
you.
all. Thank you. Well, very good. We'll have another contestant for you in just a moment after this word. And now to meet one of our regular contestants, would you enter and sign in, please? Is it Miss or Mrs. Cox? Mrs. Cox, where are you from?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. Very nice to have you with us, ma'am. Mrs. Cox, may I present the the panel? And let me present the audience, too. They're all there. Say hello to them. All righty. You just wait a second. We'll let the audience here in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, we can tell you that Mrs. Cox is salaried and deals in a service, and we'll begin things with Bennett Cerf.
Mrs. Cox, judging by your dazzling appearance, I'd like to ask if you have anything to do with either the field of athletics or entertainment.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to stick my neck way out and guess athletics.
Yes.
Are you a participant in the athletics?
No.
No. That's 1 down and 9 to go. Phyllis Newman.
Do you either referee or announce a sport?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Craig.
Do you play with men? In this sport?
No.
I wasn't volunteering.
3 down and 7 to go, Arlene.
Since you are not a participant, are you a manager of some kind?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Do you train or coach anybody?
No.
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Newman.
You don't? Can I have a recap?
Oh, you sure can.
You don't referee, you don't announce, you don't train. Do you do something connected with the sport, for example, like a caddy would carry golf balls? Do you do something for the men who are involved with the sport?
Water boy or something like that?
Well, not quite.
Bat boy, something like that.
I mean, do you do something
That's
for
perfectly
the...
all right, Phyllis. That's
No,
6 down and 4 to go. Colonel?
If you don't work with men, do you work with horses?
No.
That's 7 down and 3 to go, Arlene Francis.
May we work out, may we say no to animals entirely? You don't work with animals?
No.
All right. Should we get to the sport? Is the sport a sport that is played on land?
Yes.
The sport with which Mrs. Cox has an association, yes.
Is played on land. Is it a sport, is it a team sport?
Yes.
Do the people playing this sport wear uniforms or some kind of costume other than, well, of course they do. Why should I ask a thing like that? Quite right. So pardon me for answering myself. Is it a sport that women engage in? Never? You never saw a lady do it, huh?
I never have.
And you've certainly been around the pool.
No, I never have, Arlene. I could be wrong, but I'm going to give... I have never heard of women engaging in this sport.
Mrs. Cox, is this sport with which you're associated, does it use either a ball or a puck?
Yes.
Puck?
No.
9 down and 1 to go, Miss Newman.
Well, so it's probably something, I'm not asking, I'm just talking. It's probably football or baseball or something, or basketball or something like that.
She's
Now,
not asking.
I'm not
she's
asking,
just
I'm
talking.
just talking.
Don't say
Now-
a word, no expression on the face whatsoever.
Now, when these men are playing this sport, are you in the vicinity of where this sport is being played?
No.
That makes it 10 down and no more to go, because it would not be necessary for Mrs. Cox to be in the vicinity of the area where the sport is being played.
Make
Unfortunately,
something. A uniform.
I own some.
Is it football?
I wish I did.
yeah.
Football. You make the football.
Any more guesses?
She got our letter for that, yes.
What?
No more guesses?
Doesn't
something to do
own
with
a
the Minneapolis
football team?
Vikings?
The
Is it
uniform.
something to do with the
Well,
Minneapolis Vikings?
there's something to do with the Minneapolis
The
Vikings.
stadium. You have something to do with the stadium.
Something to do with the stadium.
She sells things.
No.
Sell hot dogs.
No.
She knows the coach.
No.
She calls off the fella.
No. That's 27,000 down and no more to go. No, Mrs. Cox predicts weekly football scores on WCCO TV in Minneapolis.
She's the jacket.
Mrs. Cox comes well by her football knowledge. Mrs. Cox is Mrs. Cox because she's married to Bobby Cox, who was quarterback for the University of Minnesota. Bennett is a great sports fan, played for the Patriots up in Boston, and she's known as Bronco over WCCO TV. And what is it, Thursday?
Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday night. First night, Mrs. Cox predicts the college
I
games.
did the Big Ten, yes.
The Big Ten games. And then on Friday night, she takes on the professional games that are coming up.
Mrs. Cox, stick your neck out. If Dallas wins the Eastern Championship and the Green Bay Packers the West, what do you predict the score of that playoff game is going to be?
Green Bay will win by 4 points.
4 points. I'm
Now-
going to write that down.
Write that down, Bennett. And let me tell you, pay some attention to it because Mrs. Cox's batting average so far this year is 700 on prediction. 750. Sorry, ma'am. 750. Pretty good. Congratulations. And if you happen to be right on that one, we'll never let him live it down. We'll meet tonight's second mystery guest in just a moment, but first, this mystery. And now the second special feature on our program, the appearance of our second mystery guest, for which the panel must once more blindfold itself. Are blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes.
Good. Will you enter Mystery Challenger and sign in, please? All right. Once again, panel, back to one question at a time, in turn moving clockwise, and we will begin things with Arlene Francis.
Are you part of the entertainment world?
Yeah.
Mr. Cerf?
Are you at present on or about to appear in a play in the Broadway sector?
No.
That's one down and 9 to go, Miss Newman.
Are you in a movie that's appearing now or has appeared in the last year? I mean, has played in the last year?
Yeah.
In a movie.
Mr. Crane?
Are you foreign?
No, I'm not. Not at all, no.
That's 2 down and 8 to go. Colonel, that one, they fell right over your foot there. No? That's Miss Francis?
Are you in a picture that is going to open this coming week?
Yeah.
Mr. Cerf.
Do you usually play comedy roles?
No, not usually. I don't do that, no.
That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Newman.
No, not usually. Does your child know my child?
Oh, boy. Yes, she does.
Well, then I know who you are.
You do you?
Should I say it?
Yeah.
Are you George Siegel?
Yeah. I think, Bob Crane, we owe you an explanation, but although you probably see. The reason for all the German accents is that Mr. Siegel is opening in the Quiller Memorandum, which is set in Berlin.
Yes.
And that was his German accent because it was a German picture, right?
Yeah.
Going to open on the 15th of December, yes, in the Beckman Theater.
What accent are you essaying, John?
Mine was Russian. We are playing, he was on this side of the wall, I was on the other.
George's
Boy, that was
daughter,
good.
Elizabeth, played with my children this afternoon.
Really?
Yes.
Your children will now have a German
What,
accent.
You're
George?
letting everything out.
Did you drive over in the same car?
No.
No,
No, we'd rather hoped, actually, that Phyllis would have more difficulty, for instance, than anybody else, but we tripped up on
Does he
that.
usually talk German?
Yes.
Is that how you recognize him?
No, I just knew his movie was opening this week.
He didn't talk German in Virginia Woolf, certainly.
No, man.
No.
No.
But he talked funny.
Well, sir, thank you very much for visiting us, and I trust that, remember we hear it's going to that the Quilla Memorandum has as much success as Virginia Woolf and King Rat and Ship of Fools. He's had a very long and distinguished career, and we hope that it continues that way. Nice to have you. Well, you've done very, very well, panel, I must admit. Very well. We didn't fool you a bit. We'll have another contestant after this word. And now to meet another contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Walter.
Allen.
Allen. Thank you very much, Mr. Allen. All righty. Mr. Allen, where are you from?
Manhattan.
From Manhattan?
Right.
Well, that takes care of things very well. Mr. Allen's from Manhattan. You all know him, so let's sit down. And we'll take a moment to let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, we can tell you that Mr. Allen is salaried and he deals in a product. And we'll begin things with Bob Crane.
Is it a product I could use?
Yes.
Is it a large product?
What would you describe as large?
Well, let's go back to your old standby, bigger than a bread box.
Sometimes.
Oh, it comes in different sizes?
Yes.
Could it also be used by my wife?
Yes.
Can it be found in the home?
Yes.
Upstairs?
Yes.
Downstairs?
Yes.
Anywhere in the house? Could it be found outside the house?
Yes.
That's swell. I'll pass to Arlene.
You did so well.
Too darn well, I guess.
Is this product now, or has it ever been alive?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Sir.
Is there anything seasonal about this product, Mr. Allen?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Newman.
Is it something that I might buy more than once every 6 months? In other words, is it something I might buy regularly? Do you have to keep replacing it?
Yes.
You should keep replacing it.
Yes.
Can you keep one part and then replace another part? I mean, do you keep sort of the basic thing and buy parts for it?
No.
No, that'd be 3 down and 7 to go. Colonel.
Would this make me happy if I used it?
Well,
yes.
it all depend on what your purposes
Well, I
were
mean,
when you were using it. You know? I can think of circumstances.
Would it improve my
Yes,
looks?
definitely.
Would it improve your looks?
Yes.
You think it
Could.
would? It
It
could.
could,
Yeah,
could.
there are occasions. There are occasions when we would say it might, but I wouldn't lean on it too heavily. Oh, I didn't mean. You
I see.
misunderstood me.
Yeah, I
I
took that
wouldn't
as a
make
clue.
this a major area.
It would help. I see. Would I? Is this an instrument of some kind?
What is your definition of an
Like,
instrument?
well, something I could play.
Oh, no. No, you couldn't play this. That's 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Francis.
Is it breakable?
Yes.
If one had it in the house, would one be able to see it easily?
Yes.
Oh.
That is not to say, we'd say that there are circumstances under which you might see it easily, but equally, we would not guarantee that if it were in one particular location that you could see it without making some effort. Wouldn't you say that's fair?
Right.
What did he say?
I don't know. Would I be correct in saying it is not edible?
Yes, you would be correct.
I've heard that there are types who do, but I don't think it's normal.
Would one find it in a department store?
Yes.
Would one find it in the furniture department of a department store?
One might.
You might find it there, yes.
Does it hold anything
I mean,
rather than just be a thing by itself?
is it its purpose to be a receptacle of...
Would it be
of a
nice
kind?
if it held something?
Would it be nice? It'd be nice, but it's not germane. That's 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Sir.
Is there any danger whatever concerned with this product?
No.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Not even if it fell on you?
Well, on you it might, but I have no. 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Newman.
Is it plastic or glass?
Yes.
It's one of the two.
Right.
Is it something that if my child came into the house and saw it, he would say, hey, there's I don't know what I'm saying. Is it something that a child could use?
Sometimes.
conceivably use it?
Yes. Sometimes.
Could you sit, stand, lean, or sleep on it?
No.
7 down and 3 to go. I think I'm going to throw the towel in for you. Anybody want to guess? I'm going to throw all the cards over.
It has
Is it plastic?
No, glass.
It's glass.
It has nothing to do with mirrors, does it?
No.
No.
Wait a minute,
It's not electric light bulbs.
It is.
That's what it is.
Oh, no!
Mr.
Who ever heard of a bulb bigger than a bread box?
Oh,
Fluorescent bulbs.
fluorescent bulb. Tremendous.
And how could it
you
make
know,
me
the
look
ones
better?
The one that you have over your dress, your makeup.
You call out a bulb, you call out a tube, don't you?
Well, it's in the bulb family.
And I've seen bigger than bread box bulbs. You know,
Yeah.
I mean the incandescent, old-fashioned incandescents.
Many bulbs they make for to beautify people with mirrors.
Where are they?
Let's buy a dozen.
But Mr. Allen is with the Royal Lamp Company, and they're distributors for all Westinghouse and Sylvania, so they have every kind of bulb you ever heard of. Nice thing, though, Mr. Allen, when he's not selling bulbs, you study Actors Studio.
With
Right.
Strasbourg.
With the Strasbourg, and he's in a Christmas play for children, Aladdin and his wonderful lamp now, right here in New York. Where are you playing?
At the Renata Theater.
I think considering your
Off-Broadway.
job, you'll have to change it to Aladdin and his wonderful light bulb.
Thanks very much, Mr. Allen. Nice to have you with us. And now, with all apologies to the panel, it's been wonderful to have you with us again, Phyllis, and certainly Colonel Hogan, nice to have you, and I've used up all the...
And now, live from New York, let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, a young lady who has just received the Medal of Achievement from her hometown, the city of Boston, Massachusetts, the first woman ever so to be honored, Miss Arlene Francis.
And thank you, Boston. And now, we have the very special pleasure tonight of greeting a British cousin who, while he is making his first television appearance as far as game shows are concerned in America, he's very well known in his own country in Australia on television and as a writer. As a matter of fact, he has been the confrere on I've Got a Secret in England, in London. Happily, we have him with us tonight, Mr. Digby Wolfe.
And it's my pleasure to introduce a young lady who is the society columnist on New York's Journal American, and a very charming lady besides, with some very cunningly deployed feathers. Miss Susie Knickerbocker.
And now that well-known publisher, pundit, punster, and pipe smoker, Bennett Cerf.
Daisy, last time we raised, you looked like $1 million. Tonight, you look like $2 million.
Thank you.
Well, our panel moderator, a Mr. Daly, is featured this month in Coronet magazine, or Esquire, I don't know which it is. One of it's Coronet, I think. But one fact they left out of this article I think you should know, and it should be a warning to all people who make too hasty decisions. Early this week, Daly made up his mind to cut down on cigarettes, and he started chewing toothpicks instead. And you know what happened to him today? He came down with Dutch elm disease. Here he is, John Charles Daly.
I must just throw in the towel, Bennett. I have no rejoinder to that at all.
Which was the magazine, John? It was
Coronet.
Coronet.
Coronet, yeah. Dutch elm disease. Well, anyway, I'll get even with you now. We're playing tricks tonight. We are going to have 2 mystery challenges instead of 1, so get your blindfolds out and put them on. And when you have all your blindfolds on, we'll get things rolling.
Yes, sir.
2 mystery challenges tonight, remember. And are the blindfolds all in place?
Yeah.
Then it is time to meet our first mystery challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please? All right, panel, as you know, when we have a mystery challenger before us, we use the different form of questioning, one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise. And in view of the Dutch elm disease, I think we ought to begin with Bennett Cerf.
Well, those leering whistles usually mean a girl. Are you a girl?
Me?
I didn't hear.
We. That means yes, Bennett. Miss Francis?
Are you appearing now in the New York Theater?
Oui.
Well, now, you said, are you appearing now in the New York Theater?
District?
Actually, this means the Broadway Theater, so with your permission, I'll change that to a no, if I may. That's 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Wolf.
Mystery guest, are you more usually identified with the motion picture industry than with the legitimate theater?
No.
That's 2 down and 8 to go, Susie.
That means you're more identified with the legitimate theater. Are you a leading lady?
Oui.
Another we was that?
No.
No.
No, we're now still dealing with the Broadway Theater, so the answer to that would be no. But I must remind you that you've had a good deal of information about the Broadway Theater, and it's a not too fruitful field to be plowing.
Well,
3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Is she a leading lady? I didn't hear. Is it we? And somebody said no?
No, it was a no.
No.
It was a no. Mr. Cerf?
Well, does that mean possibly that you're famous in the nightclub circuit?
We.
That's we.
Yes?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Fine, Miss Francis?
Are you a singer?
Oui.
Mr. Wolf?
Are you currently appearing in the nightclub in New York?
Oui.
Susie?
It sounds like a group to me. Are you the Supremes?
Yes. I must say, actually, I was wondering when you were going to identify the group, because I knew we were in trouble then. The Supremes are at the Copacabana, but more important than that is that you have made 6 records in a row, all of which reached the #1 spot, right? So I guess you are the most popular group in the country these days. We ought to, if I may, Diane?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
And?
Mary Wilson.
Mary Wilson.
Florence Ballard.
And Florence Ballard. They're the Supremes, but they're individual names. And you're wonderful. And we just hope this is the beginning of a long, long, long period and many years of success. And thanks very much for coming to join us. Wonderful to have you in. Well, we'll have another contestant in just a moment after this word. All right, panel, now we'll have a regular contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? John T. Pannell. Right, sir? Now, there are a few things, panel, that we're not going to ask you to identify about John Pannell. I'm going to have the pleasure of doing that. He is the first man to clear 17 feet as a pole vaulter. He has held the outdoor title 6 times. He presently holds the indoor title at 16 feet and 10 inches, right? And he's the best doggone pole vaulter you ever did see in your life. Your problem is, what else does he do? What does he do to make a living? Where are you from? now?
Right now, I moved to Glendale, California from Miami. So
Fine. Mr. Pinnell, may I present our panel, none of whom have the Dutch elm disease. Come and join me over here, if you will. All right. Let's let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your vocation is. All right. Panel, we can tell you that Mr. Pinnell is salaried and he deals in a product. And we'll begin the general questioning with Arlene Francis.
Is it a useful product, Mr. Parnell?
I would say so, yes.
Is it possible that I might have a product such as you deal with?
Yes, it's possible.
Is it a product that would be found in the home?
Yes.
Would it be, if one had the product, would it be seen rather than in a drawer where nobody could look at it?
I would think that there's an equal possibility that it would be seen with its not being seen. It would depend pretty much on the private habits of the family, wouldn't you say?
I'd say that.
Is it... Is it now, or has it ever been alive?
No.
No. 1 down and 9 to go. Mr. Wolf.
Is the product used by both men and women?
Yes.
Does the product come in contact with the body?
Yes, it does.
Would I get any fun out of seeing it?
Out of seeing it?
Yeah.
Yes, you might.
I see. Is it worn?
Is it worn?
Worn? No.
No, we wouldn't think so. That's 2 down and 8 to go. Susie Knickerbocker.
It comes in contact with the body. Does it come in contact with the body above the waist?
Yes.
Does it come in contact with the body between the waist and the neck? Heavens.
Between the waist and the neck? No, it doesn't.
No, I don't think so. It shouldn't anyway. 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Sir.
In other words, Mr. Pinnell, unless you've been leading us down the garden path, it comes in contact with the body above the neck.
Yes.
Is it somewhere on the face?
Yes.
Would it be in the region of the mouth?
Yes.
Is it inside the mouth?
Yes.
Has it anything to do with teeth?
Does it have anything specifically to do with teeth? No, I don't think we can say it does, Bennett. 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Francis.
Well, if it comes in contact with the mouth, but it doesn't come in contact with the body from the neck to the waist, then obviously it goes in the mouth, but it would be inadvisable to swallow it. Is that correct, Mr. Parnell?
Nope.
Well, then it comes in contact with the body, John. The inside of the body.
We said it comes in contact with the body.
No, you said no from the neck to the waist.
Well, I wasn't thinking about the...
So I get a yes, right?
There's one thing that I must say about people from Boston. Arlene's from Bostonian and so on. We know when we've been had, and I've just been had. Go ahead, Miss Francis.
I couldn't have had a nicer fella, John. Pardon me, Martin. Well, Mr. Parnell, is it a solid rather than a liquid?
No.
No, I see.
5 down and 5 to go. Mr. Wolf.
It's a liquid, right? Are there any, under some circumstances, are there any therapeutic advantages towards attached to this? Might it do you good if taken in limitation?
Yes, I would say so.
Yes, I think it has been held medically that this could be very well beneficial in as you say, moderation in all things.
If I may borrow a popular phrase, do you deal in booze?
Not in booze.
Nope. 6 down and 4 to go, Susie Knickerbocker.
Then it isn't alcoholic. We may rule
that's
out.
no. Booze, I believe, has a connotation
well,
which is.
Let's say, do you deal in spirits?
Yes.
Spirits. A type of wine, perhaps?
Yes.
Wait. Do I have to decide what kind of wine?
No, you have to tell us what relationship wine has to Mr. Pinnell, or what he does in this general field.
Is it, well, then I don't have to decide whether it's champagne. I can just...
Just what he does.
Are you a wine taster?
No.
Nope. 7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Cerf.
But, Mr. Pinnell, is your connection with the wine industry connected with it before it is sold to the public?
Yes.
You have something to do with growing some of the ingredients that go into the wine.
No.
Nope. 8 down and 2 to go. You used a sentence, before it is sold to the public, right? Miss Francis.
Before it is sold to the public, maybe he bottles it.
That makes it 9 down and 1 to go, Mr. Wolf.
Well, maybe he's a salesman who does
Don't bottle it. You don't.
Now, I'm going to throw it. Bennett just hit it. He does sell it, but he sells it to the distributor, to the public.
Oh, John.
Now, this is one of them. John is with United Vintners. You know, Italian-Swiss Colony is your brand, and actually this is relatively new career for you, is it?
Yes, it is. I've been with them now for about a month.
And where your wines go, I'm asking you this particularly because I'm a Napa Valley man, which is up north, you know, and Italian-Swiss Colony is down what, around Modesto, is it?
Around San Francisco and down a little further than San Francisco.
Down in the big valley,
Right.
San Joaquin down south.
Right.
Well, we have a very neighborly feeling about you chaps down south in the Napa Valley, and we think we're a more beautiful valley, but we take our hats off into you in every other way, and I wish I could pole vault like you can.
Oh, well,
And thanks a lot for being with us,
Thank
John.
you.
Nice to have you with us. We'll meet our second mystery guest tonight in just a moment after. And now our second special feature in our program tonight, for which, once again, the panel must be blindfolded. Are the blindfolds all in place, panel? Digby, you've got to stick on the mask again there. All in place?
Mine is.
Everybody all set?
Yes, sir.
All right, will our second mystery challenger enter and sign in, please? All right. All right, panel. Once again, we go to the other form of questioning, one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise, and we'll begin everything with Susie Knickerbocker.
Are you in the world of entertainment?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf.
That's a breathless voice. Are you a famous either movie or television star?
Yes.
Miss Francis.
Are you, however, best known for your work in motion pictures?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf.
Is your presence in New York to coincide with the premiere of a new motion picture in which you star?
In New York?
Yes.
No.
That's 1 down and 9 to go. Susie.
Did you just arrive here from Europe?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Said no, yeah. Would you answer the description of a pin-up girl?
I would say, Bennett, the question has been very thoroughly answered for you by our audience. Miss Francis?
Are you, even though you are not here to coincide with the opening of a picture, are you, however, in a picture that has recently opened here in New York?
No.
3 down and 7 to go. Digby Wolf.
Be in a picture.
Are you a blonde?
Yes.
Susie?
Oh. Are you, Jane Mansfield?
No, but thank you.
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
When I asked if you were a pin-up girl and everybody applauded, is this one of the things you're most famous for?
No, but thank you.
Bennett, I would say, with the permission of our guest, that the area is a very broad one, and I would not be able to let... Thank the good Lord we're not in color. I haven't blushed in 20 years.
Well, John,
That's what the Dutch elm disease will do for you, Bennett.
what I had in mind was a girl who, during the World War II, was on every soldier's locker in the United States.
Well, I think that term of reference gives me every right, with the permission of our guest, to change the answer to yes.
Well, then,
Miss Francis?
Well, he thinks he knows who it is. I think we
I
ought-
know. So he had his question. He's got Dutch elm disease.
I can't think of a broad pinup girl.
I'll never live this one down, I can feel.
Let's all say it together.
I
Lane
don't know what
Turner.
you said.
What is it?
I pass.
All right, Digby?
Are you Marilyn Maxwell?
That makes it 5 down and 5 to go. Susie?
Well, Betty Grable.
6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Sir.
I think it's a girl who's going to be a star of Madam X, Lena Turner.
Lana Turner.
Right. Let me explain how we could fool you, which we did happily, because although Madam X is about to open, and Lana is starring in it, it's not about to open here. It's going to have its world premiere in Miami, so we could look very innocent and say no, which is exactly
I really
here in
didn't
April,
fit.
isn't it, Lana?
I beg your pardon?
Isn't it opening here in April?
I really don't know, Arlene. It is, we're having our world premiere Thursday, March 3rd, in Miami. And I'm terribly excited because of all the many films I've done, I've never had a world premiere.
No.
So it's quite a thrill.
Well, everyone says you're marvelous.
John,
Lana.
while Phyllis and I were in California 2 weeks ago, they previewed it there for some friends of ours, and everybody came home bathed in tears. I hear it's the greatest tearjerker of the last 10 years. Is that right?
It's a bit sobby.
Well, we hope you have, for your first world premiere, the best time you've ever had in your life. Thanks very much, Lana.
Thank you,
Nice of you to
John,
come
so
and speak. Well, you've done pretty well tonight, panel, so congratulations, and we'll have another contestant after this word. And now a final contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Catherine Montgomery. Right, ma'am? Is it Miss or Mrs. Montgomery? Mrs. Montgomery, where are you from?
Hailing Island, England.
Hailing Island, England. Nice to have you with us. May I present the panel? Now, would you join me over here? And we'll let the audience at home and the audience in the theater know exactly what your line is. All right. Now, panel, it would be very fair with you. This is a bit of a tricky one, and we did it for fun. We don't have too much time, so I'm not going to say any more than that Mrs. Montgomery is salaried and she deals in the service, and I think, Digby, you should begin this one.
Hello, Mrs. Montgomery. Hailing Island. Well, I know that fairly well. This service that you provide it for men and women?
Yes?
Do they come to you or do you go to them? I'm sorry, I can't ask it that way, can I?
No.
Do you go to them?
No?
1 down and 9 to go. Susie.
So they come to you.
Yes.
Do they come to you at your home in
No.
Hailing?
That's 2 down and 8 to go. Mr. Sir.
Mrs. Montgomery, when they come to you, do you serve them anything?
Well, there could be an exchange of some material thing, but are you speaking specifically of food or something
Food or
like
liquor?
that? Food? Oh, that's fine. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Mrs. Montgomery, do you work in some sort of a shop?
Yes?
Is it a shop in which you sell things?
No.
That makes it 4 down and 6 to go. Digby?
A shop in which you don't sell things.
What can you do in a shop?
Do you dispense any kind of advice to these people? Do they benefit from what you tell them?
No?
Nope, 5 down and 5 to go. I'm going to turn this over. This is too much fun. It's real
Not
tricky.
a bookmaker.
That's wonderful. Mrs. Montgomery is not, she's an assistant to a bookmaker. She used to be a bookmaker. She now works for a lady bookmaker on Hailing Island, but she pays off, which is a much better way to do it. And we stumped the panel anyway. We got the cards over first, and bless you very much for visiting us while you're here. Thank you very much. Would you say good night to the family? May I say, Digby, it's been very nice having you with us, sir, and I hope you enjoyed our program. We'll come and visit us again. And good night, Arlene Francis.
Good night, John, and good night, Digby. Come back soon.
Thank you, I will. Good night, Susie. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, Digby. Good night, Bennett.
Good night, Susie. John, don't forget that Lana Turner in that white bathing suit.
The Dutch elm disease. Yes,
Good
thank
night.
you very much. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being with us on What's My Line?
What's My Line is a CBS Television Network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Cotton. This is Johnny Olson speaking.